I had the opportunity to sit down with Alabama head coach Nick Saban, whose first destination on his roadmap were the mountains of West Virginia. I spent some time in West Virginia. I worked there, and I was never let in on the secret of what makes this north central West Virginia to be such a predominant area for elite football coaches like yourself. You, Jimbo Fisher, John McKay, Rich Rodriguez, all would have gone to adjoining high schools. What's in the water there?
I don't know. There was a lot of coal dust there when I was growing up. That had something to do with it. But, you know, I think that we all come from, and I think every one of these guys that you mentioned would say the same thing, that really good people. You know, there's really good people in West Virginia where we grew up. They're hardworking. You know, a lot of people worked in the coal mines. Great values in terms of work ethic and, you know, doing things the right way. So I think it's a little bit the culture that we came from, that I think if you probably looked at it, there's a lot of other successful people in other areas that come from that part of the country too, because of, you know, the culture of and the kind of values that we all grew up with.
And that goes along with your belief that having a successful team involves great leadership. Do you feel like this 2015 Alabama football team has the it factor and that leadership that it needs to be successful?
Well, I do think one of the things that I like about this team, and it's always, you know, the challenge is, can the team sustain it? Is this team has a little different spirit about it, and the leadership is good because they are reinforcing the principles and values of the organization to the young players who relate and are doing the things they need to do. I mean, things like preparing for the game, taking care of yourself, getting rest, eating right, all those things, you know, they translate to the field. And those are all individual decisions that get influenced by older players. Well, our older players are influencing the younger players the right way, and that creates a special spirit and chemistry, I think, that is very helpful to having the kind of team chemistry you need to be successful.
You said in a recent interview that you have had teams in the past that had the talent to win 8 national championships. However, you failed at 4 of those. Explain that to me.
Well, I just felt that you used the it factor in what you said, whether it's, you know, to be trusted as a teammate, you have to have great character. And when I'm talking about character now, I'm talking about competitive character, that everybody trusts and believes that everybody's going to go out there and do their job so the team has a chance to be successful. And I think everybody's got to take responsibility for that. The coaches to get the players to do it, but the players themselves to do it for each other. You know, everybody sort of has the right to fail if they want to fail, but you really don't have the right to fail for somebody else. Well, everybody's got to realize that, so they do what they need to do so that they can do their job, so the team or their unit can be successful. So sometimes you have that to a larger degree because of the individual cast of characters that you have that make the team what it is. Sometimes maybe you don't have enough of that. And sometimes I feel like as a coach, you don't get that out of the players. You don't develop that in the players that you have. So, you know, it's interesting sometimes, you know, as people, we kind of want to respond to what we think somebody else deserves, but really you need to respond to what somebody else needs. And there's a little difference in that, and sometimes maybe we haven't done that as well as we need to.
You've had the chance to coach at different schools in different parts of the country, but ultimately, what drives Alabama football and what makes this state so passionate about college football?
You know, it's unique and it's special, and it's something that I have a tremendous amount of respect for, but I don't think you could have it any better, you know, in terms of the amount of interest and the passion that people have for what you do. I mean, that's what makes it special. I can't really know exactly why it is that way. Maybe it's because we don't have a lot of professional sports, you know, in our state. So you grow up being a college football fan or a college fan in general. I think that's probably true in the Southeast. I think that's what makes the Southeastern Conference, you know, what it is, but especially here in Alabama for the two schools that are in our league. You know, both have tremendous support, so, but it's great to have those kind of fans. I mean, it really makes you feel good when you know that a lot of people care about what you do and what your team does, and there's a responsibility that goes with that too, that there's an expectation of what they want to see in terms of Alabama football and the character of the players and how they perform and how they compete. So it's challenging, but in a good way.
Nick Saban, no doubt a competitor who goes to work every day making sure his players, coaches, the university, the fans, the alumni, and his family are put in the best position to succeed and win each and every day on and off the football field. We're back here on the WIAT 42 Red Zone. Chris Brees is going to take us for a trip around the SEC.